What's up, everybody? So that was a little behind the scenes footage that I posted on Instagram of a little photo shoot that I did in the backyard, trying to take advantage of the fact that the sun was out. It was 100 degrees. And I guess that brings me into the subject of filmmaking. Since I started this channel, wanted to talk about filmmaking, but I've been doing mostly music, so I kind of been sticking with that. And as you can see, I'm wearing the Strad Film shirt. Strad Films is the independent film company that my wife and I put together. And if you want, you can go to stradfilms.com and check it out. So anyhow, when I was searching for this shirt to wear, I came across all kinds of different filmmaking shirts. I had to dust them all off. And I came across this one. Now, this film, when I saw it in '94, it was promoted as this independent masterpiece, which it was. It lit a fire to start learning more and more about the art of filmmaking. So I went out and bought a bunch of books. I bought, one of them was Rebel Without a Crew by Robert Rodriguez, the director who initially did El Mariachi for like $4,000. And I started fantasizing at first because you needed a film camera, and film cameras were like 40 grand, 50 grand for the cheapest. And there's no way that I was going to be able to afford that. But I started learning about it. Even before that I saw Pulp Fiction, I had done some work on commercials. I had done some low-budget music videos. And at that point, I don't think I did any high-budget stuff, but I was always looking around and seeing how they did things and how they set things up. And I was wondering what those chords were, and what does that white thing that you put in front of the lights do. And I would talk to the director and talk to the people that were working on it, and I kind of got a little bit of an overview of what was going on. What I would like to do is not talk about apertures and different cameras and different lighting setups, but what I would like to talk about is the things that you don't see in these other YouTube videos. And some of the things that you don't see is people talking about catering, people talking about extras, costuming, getting permits. Because all of that is vital when it comes to filmmaking. Now, I know when you think of filmmaking, you think of screenwriting, actors, the script, the director, which is kind of what I thought before I made my first film. I've also been dragging my feet a little bit because I wanted to show you the very, very first film that I made, which was probably about 1997. And basically what it was a scene. I had written a feature-length screenplay, and I said, I'm just going to shoot a couple scenes and like the title sequence in the beginning, which I did. And when it came to shooting the scene, it was me entirely, the crew of one person. And the one-person crew was fine until you actually get to the day of shooting it and you realize, okay, you got to bring lights. Okay, wait a minute. Lights, and then there's the camera, of course. And how am I going to record sound? And back then I didn't have a sound recorder, so I had to bring a DAT player and set up microphones on microphone stands. You got to bring extension cords, and then you should probably put a little makeup on, a little bit of a powder so that your face doesn't shine. And by the time we got everything set up and did our first shot, the light had already moved across the sky and was casting different shadows. So like I said, these are things that you don't normally think about. Now, fast forward to 2013. I'm at this bar and grill with my wife. We were headed to a musical function, and some guy had this camera that he was looking through, and we struck up a conversation. And he showed it to me. He said, "Oh yeah, this is the new Canon 5D Mark II, and you should see the picture quality. It's 24p. It's just like a film camera. It's fantastic." He said, "Well, go to my website, whenever you go home and look at some of the stuff that I've done on this. You'll be surprised." And when I got home and I looked at it, I was like, "Oh my God, this is fucking unreal. This is unbelievable. This looks better than a 16 millimeter camera." So that rekindled the passion that I had. And I went out and I got a 5D Mark II, and I was able to get some sound gear and a couple lenses. And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna shoot my first real short film on this." But I was a little bit hesitant about being the cinematographer and the director of it. So what I did was I hired a crew, and that in itself was my first introduction to the realities, the sobering realities of making films. Because in order to get a crew of people that know what they're doing, you have to pay them. I mean, unless, of course, you went to film school, which I didn't, and you have a bunch of friends that are involved in filmmaking, which is probably one of the best parts of going to film school, is you're interacting with other filmmakers. I mean, you need people that know how to set up C-stands, diffusion, people that understand the filmmaking process. So my wife and I, we put out an ad on what was then called Mandy, and we just said that we're crewing up, and we got this crew together. So then we found out a number of websites where you can get actors, and we posted that we were looking for some actors, and we paid everybody. And by the time that we budgeted out for, I think it was a 4 or 5 day shoot, because I had a script that was, I think it was about 40 pages. And I didn't realize that A, that is way, way too long for a short film. And B, the amount of shots and setups to do this was astronomical. The film was a success, but we learned some really, really valuable lessons that I'll share with you guys if you're interested. So hopefully you'll tune back in and hear some stories about filmmaking. So in a nutshell, that's I guess the introduction to filmmaking for me. It wasn't actually until I got my hands dirty and hired a crew and committed to doing a short film that I learned so much. So I guess that's about it for this video. I don't want it to be too long. It's just kind of an introduction to my filmmaking experience, and I hope you dug it, and I hope that you enjoyed your summer. We're heading into the fall, so I'm gonna have some pumpkin beer tomorrow, and maybe I'll see you guys then. Okay, peace guys.